Hey everybody, it's Kyle here. Welcome back to another video. But before we get into this week's video, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Nikki. She is a disability advocate who has a podcast called Real Talk. Real Talk allows her to have her guests speak openly and honestly about disability, kind of like what I'm trying to do here on YouTube. Her podcast is available on Spotify. I was recently a guest and it was pretty cool. So please don't forget to check that out. The link for that will be down below in the description. This week's video, not to cut her off, but this week's video has me fired up a little bit. For those of us on Facebook, we all get the notifications that today is so-and-so's birthday. I love when people wish me happy birthday. It was great. This birthday reminded me that a lot of people, a lot of close friends, call me Bud. And I have no problem with that. So if any one of my close friends is watching me who did call me Bud on my birthday, this video is not for you. Like, you can call me Bud all you want because you know me on a personal level. I have a bit of an issue with the term Bud when it comes to strangers. I associate the word bud with children when you're trying to talk nice to children. So when a stranger chooses to say, "Hey bud, how are you?" that immediately puts me on guard because it makes me wonder, are they looking at me as an adult with a disability or a 5-year-old child in their eyes? And my hope is I will be treated as an adult, even though I have a physical disability, and not a child. I can have adult conversation. I do not need to be handled with kid gloves. I'm not fragile. So I would rather have adult conversations with adults. I will have childlike conversations with children, especially my niece, because that's what it requires. But if you come up to me and want to talk to me, please treat me as an adult. Because the minute you tell me, "Hey bud," immediately I will put my guard up in how I talk to you. I will still respect you. I'm not going to get angry, but I won't necessarily get as personal in a conversation with you if you call me bud. Because like I said, when you call me bud, I immediately think you're looking at me as a child. So I'm immediately guarded to how I'm going to treat you and how you're, because of how I'm assuming wrong, but how you're treating me. And this isn't to say that everyone who says, "Hey bud," is doing it with ill intention or is looking at someone with a disability as a child. But that kind of is deciphered through the conversation that we do have. You can call me bud and still treat me with dignity and respect in the conversation that we're having. And if I get a sense that we are having an adult conversation and you respect me as an adult, then I can respect you. But if you start up a conversation with me, use the term bud, and then proceed to talk in a childlike voice or about topics that children have, like, what's your favorite color? And, if you just have that, like, condescending tone and childlike tone in the direction of the conversation, then I won't necessarily be rude to you, but I won't have a conversation much further after that. We'll have the conversation that we have, and I won't necessarily want to reach back out to you and form a close friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it. Because if you don't see me as someone that you can have adult-like conversations with, then I don't need to have you in my life and have any future conversations. If you can call me bud and still treat me with dignity, like, do it. Like, show me that you're not treating me like a child. And this is, again, to people that are just meeting me, not friends that I've known for years or my family. I have no problem with you guys calling me bud. And please, in the comments down below, am I the only one that the term bud bothers? Like, I just associate it with children, so I don't want to be treated like a child. I did talk to my girlfriend about it, and she did say that for her, if someone calls her sweetie, then she feels as though she's being looked at as a little girl. So I know I can't be the only one, but it seems silly. It does, but I do want to be treated with dignity and respect, and as an adult, as a 26-year-old, because I do think that people will naturally assume that if you have a physical disability, that you also have a mental disability. And I just want people to actually not make that assumption when talking to someone with a disability. I want you to always go in, no matter if the person has a physical, mental, emotional, any disability, do never treat them as children. When you're first meeting them, maybe as you get to know them, you can soften up and, but never assume. Always speak directly to those with disabilities. Look them in the eye and give them the respect that you would give someone else that you were meeting who outwardly did not look disabled. Shake their hand, firmly. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to treat us like glass. We are human. We all have our issues, but don't be afraid to speak directly to the person who has a disability, and if they are not able to hold a conversation, then you can switch your attention to their advocate and the person they are with. Because just because you are not able to communicate with them yourself, the person that they are with has their own system of communication, and you will be able to have a conversation with the assistance of their system, and maybe that person clarifying some things. But you can have a conversation with someone who cannot speak for themselves. Because communication is much more than words. So if you're ever in a situation where you are just meeting someone with a disability, look them in the eyes, treat them as adult, and be careful of how you speak to them. Don't always assume that they need to be spoken to as children. They are adults. If they are a child, then this conversation is irrelevant. Children should be treated like children, but still with dignity and respect. I want to continue to reiterate that with dignity and respect is how you should have a conversation with someone with a disability. The subject matter will vary depending on age. Children, they know childlike stuff, but I am 26 and I can handle adult conversations. I can also handle childlike conversations with children. It just depends on the situation. But again, look at the situation, assess it, and how you approach it. That's all I ask. Just be mindful of how you speak with and to those with disabilities. I'm sorry if this is coming off a bit harsh. I don't know what. This just fires me up. I don't know why. I want people with disabilities, regardless of physical or mental, emotional, we all just want to be treated with dignity and respect and like human beings that you want to talk to, because we want to talk just as much. Well, I can't say all of us do, Some are more shy. I was definitely shyer when I was younger. But I love to talk. I love to educate. I love people to get to know me. I love to build connections outside of just talking about my disability. I like to know, um, what makes someone happy, smile, what do they do for fun? That's the interesting stuff. And I don't want to miss out on that stuff because our initial conversation is less than ideal with being treated like a child. Um, so I think I might have rambled on a little too much. So I think I will end it there. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you've had experiences talking with someone with a disability, let me know, good or bad. We can talk about it. If you're someone with a disability watching this, let me know your experiences and how you feel about terms like bud and sweetie. And, let's talk about it. Let's talk in the comments down below. But I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post every Tuesday. And I will see you next time.